Okay, good evening, children. So we'll start our summary class of chapter 8. Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam. Om Gurur-Brahma Gurur-Vishnu Gurur-Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we'll start with the first few verses of chapter 8. So in chapter 7, as we have been going through, in the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the first 6 are dealing with the Tvam Padartha, about the reality of each one of us. And the second Shatkam is dealing with Tat Padartha, or the reality of the Lord. So, 7th chapter was the first chapter in the second Shatkam. It was dealing with with the reality of Lord, Jnana and Vijnana. And then at the end of 7th chapter, Sri Krishna introduces a few terms. And the chapter 8 starts with those few terms. Arjuna asks Krishna to explain in detail what these terms meant. So the first verse is Arjuna vacha kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama adhibhutam cha kim proktam adhidaivam kim uchyate. So here Arjuna has asked about a few things. One is, what is Brahma? What is Karma? What is Adhyatma? Then what is Adhibhutam, Adhidaivam, and Adhiyajnam? These questions were asked in the first shloka itself. The second shloka goes like Adhiyajya katham kotra dehesmin madhusudana prayana kale cha katham yeyosi niyatatmabhi. So in the second verse, he asks about Adhiyajya and also asks about what happens after death. How at the time of death one should be self-controlled to be able to achieve moksha. So in these two verses, Arjuna has finished asking all the questions, basically a repetition of what was mentioned by Sri Krishna at the end of chapter 7. So from third verse on, Sri Krishna starts answering these questions. Shri Bhagavanu vacha aksharam brahma paramam swabhavodhyatma uchyate bhuta bhavod bhavakaro visargah karma sangita. Children, at the end of this class, we are planning to have a small quiz. We'll be asking few questions from this chapter. 10 questions will be there. I would like you all to answer these questions. It's not a competition. We are just trying to revise. This is part of the revision. Trying to recall from what we have learned and answer. So listen to the summary carefully so that you will be able to answer well. So here, Sri Krishna is answering the questions of Arjuna. So first question he answers, what is Brahman? The Blessed Lord said, Brahman is imperishable. It is the imperishable or undestructible principle of this universe. That is Brahman, the Supreme. The next is the creative force. I have 1 second, sir. I just want to reduce this. His essential nature is called self-knowledge. The creative force that causes beings to spring forth into manifestation is called work. So the second one was Adhyatma. Adhyatma is the real self of each one of us. So that comes from the word Atma. You can guess that Adhyatma is the self itself, our real self. The next one is karma. What is karma? Bhuta bhavod bhavakaro visargah karma sangita. It's considered the sacrificial offering that brings about, that begins the cycle of karma. So they say that whatever we are experiencing today is because of what we have done yesterday, in the past. Sometimes in the past from our childhood till now, sometimes from our previous janma itself. So there is a cycle of we do things and then we get experiences based on what we have done in the past. So this karma cycle begins in the beginning. That beginning is karma, what he's talking about, the creative force that causes beings to spring forth into manifestation. So beings come into the universe with this initial push from the Lord, and that is called karma. Fourth verse. Adhibhutam charo bhavaha purushashchadhidaivatam adhiyagyohamevatra dehe deha bhritambara. Here he is answering the few other questions. Adhibhuta. Adhibhuta or elements constitute my perishable nature. So this universe we know is constantly changing. Every second something is coming up and then it goes and something else comes up instead of that. For example, you have milk. We are buying milk in the morning. So it is in the form of milk. We boil it and consume it. The moment we consume it, it becomes something else. It gets digested in our body and becomes part of our body. That is a change. Then milk, we may curdle it and make it into curd. That changes. And then we can make several other things with it, no? Paneer or cheese, so many other things, butter. So all these things in the universe keep on changing. This is just an example, but every single thing that we have in the universe, which is physical in nature, which we can see as matter, is always changing from one form to another. So that thing, the physical universe, which is always changing, is called Adhibhuta. So here they have mentioned Adhibhuta as elements which constitute my perishable nature. And then Purushashchadhidaivata, the indweller or the essence is Adhidaivata. This actually, the Adhidaivata is supposed to be the cosmic being. So here I have shown Earth as an example of Adhibhutam, the perishable universe. I have shown Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Devi Lakshmi as Adhidevam. Basically, that's the cosmic principle. And the last one is Adhiyagya. I'm sorry, just a second. Adhiyagya. What is Adhiyagya? Adhiyagya, Krishna says it is he himself. And where is Adhiyagya found? Within each one of us. So we always say that Lord is within us. So that Lord which is within us is Adhiyagya. So those are the few things that he answered. Again, Akshara Brahma Parama. So Brahman is the imperishable principle. Adhyatma is our real self. And then karma is the beginning of the cycle of karma by sacrificial offering. Adhibhutam is the perishable universe. Adhidaivam is the cosmic being, Lord in the cosmic form. While Adhiyagya is Lord himself within us. The fifth verse, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra sanshayah. And whosoever leaving the body goes forth, remembering me alone at the time of his death, he attains my being. There is no doubt about this. So here he answers the last question as to how to achieve moksha at the time of death, how to achieve self-control. So at the end of one's life, if one is thinking of nothing but God, then he achieves his goal. So next we have the summary of verses 8.11 to 8.15 by Swastik. Swastik, shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. So the verses I have compiled in here are from 8.11 to 8.15, and I have made them in the form of 3 points for a few of them so that they are easier to understand. Now the first one. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Vishanti Yad Yatayo Vitaraga Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe. So this verse here, verse 8.11, literally means the scholars of the Vedas describe him as imperishable. Great ascetics practice the vow of celibacy and renounce worldly pleasures to enter into him. I shall now briefly explain to you the path to that goal. So here we have three parts. The scholars of the Vedas describe him as imperishable. This tells us that all the Rishi Munis that we know, such as Vishwamitra, Vashishta, Kashyapa, all of these rishis have described the Paramatma as only one word, imperishable. Someone who will live long beyond the time when the sands of time for our universe has come short, and Rudra will have destroyed our Brahmanda. He will still be present throughout the multiverse. Great ascetics practice the vow of celibacy and renounce worldly pleasures to enter into him. These men who have learned the Vedas, the Puranas, the Upanishads, all of these great areas, they practice the vow of celibacy, the vow of never to perform adultery, to such a degree that not even brahmacharya have practiced and have done such extreme renouncement that rishis like Vishwamitra have been even praised for that and have been given the art of traveling at the speed of thoughts. If we have seen properly in the Ramayana, this has also been mentioned, where after Rama is wed to Sita, Parashurama appears, Parashurama and Vishwamitra, they also have this ability, as Parashurama appears to him in the form of a tornado and challenges him to string Shiva's bow. After failing, he decides to leave. This shows us just a glimpse of what powers the rishis may have. Finally, I shall now explain to you briefly the path to that goal. Now, Krishna tells Partha that now I will teach you how to reach the Paramatma. I explained to you what is the Paramatma. Now you will learn how to reach him. This verse allows us to learn how to reach true immortality, a path that will burn our mortal away to let the truly immortal part, our Atman, join back with the Paramatma himself. Next slide.
It's not moving, no?
Hmm.
No, is it not? Okay, now?
Yes, ma'am. सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनोहृदि निरुद्य च मूर्धन्याध्यायात्मनः प्राणमस्थितो योगधारणम्. This verse now starts upon how to reach the Paramatma. First, starting with the state of yoga or the state of meditation. This comprises of three simple yet excruciatingly difficult things to do. The first one, restraining all the gates of the body. This instruction tells us to close all our sensory organs, which are gates because they are open gateways for stimulants which destroy our concentration. I will take a simple example here. Everyone knows that whenever they start studying and they sit next to the kitchen and their mother is cooking something delicious, they will be able to smell this and their concentration will be broken. Instead of thinking about studying, they'll think about, oh, what is mother making? How will it taste? Such is the balance of yogic concentration. You get stimulants, your concentration is broken. Now, fixing the mind in the heart region. This is slightly more difficult, but I will try and explain this in simple words. It tells us to focus our entire mind on one singular area, the Anahata Chakra, which is situated just above the heart. More specifically, if you learn the endocrine system properly, it will be situated in the thymus region. The thymus is a very powerful endocrine gland supporting the immune system and producing T cells who act as the army soldiers in your life or in the part of your immune system. It literally protects you from outside invasions. And third one, drawing the life breath to the head. The final and tertiary instruction that tells us what to do tells us to be able to consciously increase the blood pressure of the jugular arteries and veins towards the head, as these arteries carry oxygen rich blood, technically considered life, the life breath of the body. While angiologists do not believe we can do this, the secrets of the rishis and gurus were far beyond what we could think of. So it may be possible, it may not. Next slide. Now, 13th verse. ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्म व्याहरन्नामनुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति त्यजन् देहं स याति परमां गतिम्. One who departs from the body while remembering me, the Supreme Personality, and chanting the symbol Om. This will attain them the supreme goal. Now, this verse is pretty self-explanatory in itself. It explains what you must do at the time of death to be able to keep yourself on the path towards Vaikuntha. It says two parts. One who departs from me, one who departs from the body while remembering me, the Supreme Personality. This part of the verse wants us to remember Vishnu, or more specifically, the later avatars of Vishnu, Ram and Krishna. As Ram and Krishna have been told to be life givers, or more specifically, life protectors. They will protect you from any sort of papam that can arise at the time of your death. Though this may seem impossible because you will not be able to think of him, you will die in an instant, but Vishnu will remain with you throughout your life, and those who have already requested him to help and only believe in him will give them fairly easy time. Chanting the syllable Om. Now, this instruction tells us that at the time of death, which has been claimed by the Puranas to give us a pain similar to that of 2000 scorpion stings worth, we must be strong enough to persevere and chant the ethereal sound of generation, the one which Brahma used at the time of creation to create everything present within our universe today. The reason it is literally called the Brahmanda. The syllable Om. Now, next slide. Now, 14th verse. Ananya cheta sataram yo mam smarati nityashaha tya tasyaham sulabha partha nityayuktasya yogina. O Partha, for those yogis who always think of me with exclusive devotion, I am easily attainable because of their constant absorption in me. Now, this verse, all in itself, is also very quite explanatory in itself. It just states that those who think of me all the time, who let me control their life and give them a better life, they will easily attain Vaikuntha due to the fact that they are constantly absorbed in Vishnu. And hence, Vishnu will see this sort of trance and then send them to his Vaikuntha whenever they have received the perfect time of death. Now, this will also allow them to climb any wall, be it a hurdle or be it insurmountable. They will climb anything with the faith of God. Now, next verse. And now the final verse, verse 15. Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam shaswatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha sansiddhim paramam gata. Having attained me, the great souls who are no more subject to rebirth in this world, which is transient and full of misery, because they have attained the highest perfection. Now, this verse is the aftermath of what had started in verse 11, and this ends in verse 15. Now, this explains the fruits that the tree sown shall give for us to reap. The verse states that after a person attains Vaikuntha, they will no longer have to persevere in the world of misery and unhappiness, as they will now live for the rest of time with their true Lord, the Supreme Personality, Vishnu Himself. Hari Om all. Thank you, Sachin sir, for giving me this area. And thank you, Sarika ma'am.
Thank you, Swastik. That was a good summing up of those few verses. Now, the next few verses are 8.16 to 8.20. So, the 16th verse is Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartinorjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. In all the worlds of this material creation up to the highest abode of Brahma, you will be subject to rebirth, O Arjuna. But on attaining my abode, O son of Kunti, there is no further rebirth. So each thing that we do, each action we do, the karma and result cycle has a result. So lot of punya, lot of good merit, we have a good future. It could be a better janma in the next birth. It could be another loka, a better loka. But any of these lokas, including the earth, and probably if you've not done too many punyas, you've done any papas, then you go to the lower lokas. But whatever it may be, all of them are finite. So in a way, that is a good thing. If you have a lot of papa in your account, you always should remember that whatever you have done till now, whatever results you may get for it is also going to be finite. But when it comes to punyas, you should remember that whatever you may have achieved, but the results of it are going to be finite. At the end of it, you will have to return to this sloka. Okay, so there is going to be rebirth for everyone, no matter which abode you reach, up till the highest abode of Brahma. But one who achieves me, achieves Krishna himself, has no further rebirth. So that is what this verse means. Sahasra yuga paryantam aharya brahmano vidu ratrim yuga sahasrantam deho ratra vido jana. One day of Brahma, a kalpa, lasts 1,000 cycles of 4 ages, and his night also extends for the same span of time. The wise who know this understand the reality about day and night. So here, Brahma's day and night is being described. So as Sachin sir had mentioned earlier, you have something called a mayfly who has a lifespan ending in one single day. Then you have a lot of insects who live for a week. So for them, that time period of their life is so long. They live their entire life within that period. When it comes to humans, we see, okay, this is just a small period of time, only a day. But when it comes to Brahma, we are more or less like even more insignificant, in fact, than the mayfly, because our lifespan is 100 years. And that 100 years is one day of gods, the other gods like Indra and all of them, their one day. And then you have a yuga. A yuga would be Treta Yuga, Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. The 4 yugas together, 1,000 such Chatur Yugas is Brahma's one day. So that is the time scale of Brahma's day. Okay. So again, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyad Brahmano Vidu. 1,000 cycles of Chatur Yuga consists of one day of Brahma. And similar 1,000 cycles of Chatur Yugas becomes the night of Brahma. 18th verse. Avyaktatvaktayo sarva prabhavantyah ragame ratyagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta sangyake. At the advent of Brahma's day, all living beings emanate from the unmanifest source, and at fall of his night, all embodied beings again merge into their unmanifest source. So, the universe comes into being during Brahma's day. So 1,000 Chaturyugas is when the universe is manifest. And after that, as Brahma's night dawns, the whole universe goes back into unmanifest state. Next is the 20th verse. Parastasmatu bhavonyo vyakta vyaktat sanatanaha yah sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. Transcendental to this manifest and unmanifest creation, there is yet another unmanifest eternal dimension. That realm does not cease even when all others do. This is actually a little away from the usual Tat Padartha Vichara. Here we are talking about the Nirguna Brahman. So we were saying that during Brahma's day, everything comes into being, the material universe becomes manifest, and during Brahma's night, it becomes unmanifest. Now, what does unmanifest mean? Unmanifest means something like what we experience in our deep sleep. When we go to sleep, what happens? We remember going to bed, and then we remember getting up. In between, we may remember a dream or two, but the rest of the night, we do not know. We do not know what happened. So that state wherein we do not know anything is the unmanifest state. So the whole universe goes into that state. Do we go out of existence? We don't. It's something like being in deep sleep. So everything goes back into an unmanifest state, a causal state, from where during the next Brahma's day, everything comes back. So the whole thing is in a seed form. In a seed, say we have a seed of an apple tree. In that small seed, there is the whole information of how the tree should sprout up, how the tree should look, what kind of leaves it bears, what kind of fruit it bears. All that information is there in that single seed. Like that, when the whole universe goes into the unmanifest state, it has the full information of how the next creation will come into being. Okay, so that is the manifest state and the unmanifest state. Beyond these two, there is something called the absolute. Now, what is this absolute? This absolute is Nirguna Brahman. It is also the reality of us, the Atman. Now, we know that when we get up, we have a manifest universe in front of us. Then we go to sleep. In our dreams, we have a mithya jagat. We have a universe that we cook up. Our mind cooks up a universe and things happen there. And then we go into deep sleep, that is the unmanifest state. But through all these three states, we are there. That consciousness, which is allowing us to experience the manifest state, the dream state, and the unmanifest blankness, is the absolute. So that absolute is what is being spoken about here. Something which does not get destroyed at any point of time. So at the end of Brahma's life, now Brahma's life is supposed to be 100 such years. Now we know that a day itself is so huge. Chaturyuga plus 1,000 Chaturyugas of day plus 1,000 Chaturyugas of night. Those 365 such cycles would be 1 year. And 100 such years would be one Brahma's lifetime. At the end of that, Brahma also goes into an unmanifest state. Till then, Brahma is manifest, the universe becomes unmanifest. Okay? So at the end, when Brahma also becomes unmanifest, there is one thing that stays, and that is called the absolute, Brahman or Atman. So next we have verses 8.21 to 8.28, which Sharav will be walking us through. Sharav, you ready?
Yes. Hari Om, everyone. So I'm going to say not in detail of the verses. I'm going to say just the main idea of what these verses are trying to talk about, the ending verses. Now I've learnt about what the karma is, adhyatma, adhidaiva. We've learnt about the absolute, Brahma's lifetime. Now we're talking about the paths to moksha and the paths to celestial abodes. And again, what to do at the time of death. So Krishna explains that to attain, this misspelled as once. To attain moksha, you have to become a yogi, who just by the understanding of the supreme and true nature of the Lord, like Sarika ma'am said, if that absolute, the people who just understand that the absolute, they can comprehend it, I'd say, they surpass everything and everyone. They are going in the path of light. They are going to attain moksha. And the people who don't realize the Lord, they do a lot of punya or papa, but they don't realize the Lord. They are reborn and they go to the dark path. So we can say that we have two options. We either go to the celestial abodes, we get recreated again and again and again, or we can escape this cycle and attain infinite happiness. So to do that, we are all lucky, like at a young age we're getting to learn this. So that there is a very good chance that all of us here get moksha, but we need to go in the right path. And even if we don't, we have to know that if I realize the Lord, we have to try to realize the Lord. Then we can attain moksha, we can escape this cycle of pain and pleasure again and again. But if we don't, then we'll just be reborn again. There are signs of this too, as said by Krishna, and that is your time of death. Right?
It's not moving again.
Yeah. There are signs of that, if you die in the path of light, you will die in the Uttarayana, the northern run of the sun, the daytime, and Uttarayana, the daytime.
It's not moving for some reason.
And if you, the waxing fortnight. Uttarayana, the daytime, and the waxing fortnight. Waxing fortnight is when the moon seems to get larger. Crescent moon, half moon, gibbous, and then full moon. Then those who die at the time of smoke, the Dakshinayana, and the night, and the waning fortnight, those people are known to be in the path of darkness. This you shouldn't much pay attention to the signs, but rather we should try to attain moksha and go to the path of light. Hari Om.
Thank you, Sharav. That was a good summary. Now, for the sake of children to be able to answer the quiz, I'll just help recap a few terms. Okay, so in these few shlokas, they're talking about 6 months of Uttarayana and 6 months of Dakshinayana. Shanmasa Uttarayanam, Shanmasa Dakshinayanam. And then they describe Uttarayanam as the Shuklagati. Uttarayanam is the time period, Shuklagati is the path you take. And in that path, if you are dying in that time, then in that path, you have the deities, the deities of light who take you to the abode of the Lord. While Shanmasa Dakshinayanam is the time of waning moon, as Shara was telling. Again, 6 months of time, wherein you take the Krishna Gati or the dark path, where you have the dark deities. Okay? The shadow deities who take you to higher lokas. Okay, the first one is Uttarayanam is you're going to the Lord himself. Dakshinayanam, you're going to higher lokas. Lokas where you will enjoy the results of your punya. But you will have to come back because these are finite ends. While when you go from Uttarayana through Shukla Gati, you reach the Lord himself, and from there you attain mukti. You do not have a return to come back. All right. So that is what Uttarayana and Dakshinayana mean. But actually, though it's mentioned in this way, what matters is how we have led our life. As Krishna himself has said, how we have led our life, what kind of thoughts we have nurtured in our mind, how much we have thought of Lord, and what we think at our time of death. This is what matters rather than the time of death as such. So based on that, based on our final thoughts, based on our practices, whether we go take the Shukla Gati or the Krishna Gati will be decided. So that brings us to the end of the class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So now we'll do the quiz for chapter 8. All kids are ready? This is just a revision. Okay. How many marks you get would be for yourself to feel proud of. Okay. So even if we get 1 or 2 or 3 questions correct, 3 answers correct, that's a good thing. That is a merit for you. And next time we have a quiz like this, you compete with your own past selves and see how much you can improve over what you had learned earlier. Okay? Is that okay? So I'll just give the instructions. I want you to open a personal chat with me. Okay? Do you know how to do that? Open the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
Then say to Sarika Ramachandran.
Sarika.
Am I there? I'm not there at all.
You are
Ev-
there, ma'am.
No,
but,
you are
your
there.
name is only-
Okay.
There is no Ramachandran there.
Okay, Sarika. So you just choose Sarika and write down your names. That's sufficient. Write down your names on the chat box. So Moksha and Ankita, Yakshita, Shara, Tanush, Swastik, Atit. I'll just take a paper so that I can write this thing down, how much each one is taking. Anvit Ramachandra, Naren, Utsav. Okay. So I will just write down your initials so that it will be easy. Moksha Ankita, Yakshita, Sharav, Tanush, Swastik. Atit, Rishikesh. Anvit, Utsav, Naren. So I have asked you to open a chat box with me so that other children will not copy. They won't get to know your answers. Okay? So before the quiz begins, just type in your name in the chat box. Children who are attempting the quiz together can type in both the names. I think you guys have done that. Next, each question will have 4 options. Like all other quizzes like KBC, we are going to have 4 options. After each question is read out, 30 seconds will be given for you all to answer. Within this time, you have to just type in A, B, C or D into my chat box. Is that simple? Simple, children, or not? Difficult?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the first question. 30 seconds. What is Brahman? Is it the embodied soul? Is it the original sacrificial offering? Highest imperishable principle? Perishable entities? Okay. Rishikesh, Moksha and Ankita. Swastik. Atit. Hey, all of you have answered correctly. Naren have answered B. Sharav. Have I missed anyone? Atit, Sharav, Naren, Tanush. Anvit. Some of you may find it difficult. I'm sorry. But it's going to be fun anyway. Raghav, I got. Utsav's answer, I got. Yakshita's answer, I got. Okay. So we'll move on to the next question now, okay? Next is, what is Adhyatma? You can write 2 and answer. 2, A, B, C, or D. What is Adhyatma? Again, the same options. Embodied soul, original sacrificial offering, highest imperishable principle, or perishable entities. Okay. Swastik. Atit has C. Most of you have gotten all the answers correct. Okay, so we could move to the third question now. What is karma amongst these? Same options. Embodied soul, original sacrificial offering, highest imperishable principle, or perishable entities. 3, A, B, C, or D. Write down 3 and then A, B, C, or D. So Raghav has answered first. Then Rishikesh. Makshanankita. Naren. Swastik. Vansh. Utsav Sharav. Yakshita. Okay, next one. Aniket has not answered. Aniket, did you answer? I didn't find your answer. Aniket has not answered. Okay. So next one is question number 4. What is Adhibhutam? Highest imperishable principle. B, perishable entities. C, Krishna himself within each one of us, or the cosmic being. Swastik answered first this time. Naren. Moksha and Ankita. Anvit. Ateep. Raghav. Rishikesh C. Yakshita D. Aniket has answered this time. Okay, so next question is, what is Adhidaivam? Highest imperishable principle, perishable entities, Krishna himself within each one of us, or the cosmic being. Sharon has answered correctly. Swastik has answered correctly. Rishikesh correct. Adit correct. Tanush correct. Naren correct. Utsav. Raghav. Okay, I'll move on to the next question. Okay. What is Adi Yajna? Highest imperishable principle, perishable entities, Krishna himself within each one of us, or the cosmic being? Okay. Moksha Sharav got it correct. Swastik correct. Naren. Sir has got it correct. And who had sent me before and then? Atit. And then Rishikesh. Raghav. Okay. Next question is, how many yugas is one day of Brahma? 100 human years, 1,000 human years, 100 chaturyugas, or 1,000 chaturyugas? This I think a lot of people will get correct. Raghav got it correct. Utsav correct. Rishikesh correct. Sharav correct. Swastik. Yakshita correct. Atit correct. Okay. So we'll go to the next one. Okay. When does universe go into unmanifest stage? When Brahma's night arrives, at the end of 1,000 chaturyugas, at the end of Brahma's life, or both A and B? Difficult? Swastik got it correct. Yeah, I think it is difficult. Naren got it correct. 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 Moksha and Ankita got it correct. Naren got it correct. Raghav Varshni got it correct. Very good. So we'll go to the next one. How long does Uttarayanam or Dakshinayanam last? 100 years of Brahma's life, 1,000 Chaturyugas, or as long as a Brahma's day, or 6 months? I think this one is easy. Okay, almost everyone got it correct.
Ma'am, it is question number 9.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. It's just moved when my whole attention was in something else. Okay, Sharam got it correct. Raghav got it correct. Swastik got it correct. Swastik has answered 10th also. Moksha and Ankita got it correct. Rishikesh got it correct. Okay, now shall we go to the next question? Let me see. There are two things that I have not seen. Naren got it correct. Very good. Next, we'll go to 10th question. Traveling by which path one returns not? Uttarayanam, Dakshinayanam, Krishnagati, or Shuklagati? I think Swastik had answered already, no? Let me
Yes,
go
ma'am.
to his answer.
I am also answered 10th one.
Okay, I'll just see. I didn't expect this to be tough, but I've got only one right answer till now.
Ma'am, I can try now also.
Yeah, you try again, no problem. Okay, children, I've got all the answers. I'll go through this once more and write down so that I can tell you the scores. I'll tell you the scores. I think I'll tell you personally. Okay. This one. Now we'll go to the answers. The first question was, what is Brahman? And the answer is, tell me, all of you know, na? Quite a few of you have answered correctly. What is the answer? Its highest imperishable principle. That's what Brahman is. Second is, what is Adhyatma? So I gave you a clue to figure out what is Adhyatma. Look at the word Atma. It is our original or our real nature, embodied soul. Okay. Next is, what is karma amongst these? It is the original sacrificial offering which has started the cycle of karma. What is adhibhutam? I know these questions are tough for all of you, but then these terms, there is no other way of remembering. If we go through them as quiz, then it will kind of hammer inside our brains and we'll remember them next time, no? So this is not to make you all feel bad if you've got it wrong. It's so that we'll remember next time, okay? What is adhibhutam? Adhibhutam Bhuta is the physical world. So it is the perishable entities. And what is Adhi Daivam? Daiva is gods, no? So it's the cosmic being. And then Adhi Yagna. Adhi Yagna is Krishna himself within each one of us. How many yugas is one day of Brahma? It is a 1,000 Chaturyugas. 1,000 Chaturyugas is one day, and another 1,000 Chaturyugas is the night of Brahma. When does the universe go into unmanifest state? That's wrong, no? It's both A and B, right? It's both A and B. When Brahma's night arrives, at the end of 1,000 Chaturyugas. At the end of the 1,000 Chaturyugas, Brahma's day is over and night begins. So it's both A and B. How long does Uttarayanam and Dakshinayanam last? It's 6 months. And traveling by which path one returns not? The answer is Shukla Gati. Okay? So that was our quiz for us. I will just go through this once more and jot down who got how much correct. And I'll give you the scores, each one of you separately. Okay? So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to moderate and also to bring about a quiz for the children. I'm hoping that the kids enjoyed. I don't know if I have troubled them or if I have confused them or if I have demotivated you all. I want you all to just enjoy these sessions so that it's basically only a revision for all of us. Okay? And also, sir, I and all the senior students are promising you that while you are away from us, we will try and go through the classes as best as we possibly can. We'll see to it that we do a good job. So we'll try our level best.
Yes, it was an excellent class. So many things to learn again, relearn. And I enjoyed the quiz, and the participation also was very nice.
Thank you, sir. All the children participated, each one of them, and they've done really well also. So most of them have answered correctly.
Yes, I see that. Even Narayan has answered so many questions. Utsav. So everyone likes quiz actually.
Yeah.
Swastik, now we will take for the next class. Please raise the hand who are volunteering for the verses. 9th chapter, 1 to 5. Please raise the hand.
Sir, just let them raise their hands. I'll jot down their names.
Yes. Whoever wishes for the next class. I think last time they had raised the hand, but still we'll just confirm once again. No one? Is the next class exams going on?
Literally.
So 2 people have done, Raghav and Ankita and Moksh. So what to do now? Whether if no one is going to be there.
But I have exams from next week.
Yeah, Sharav, you have exams. But anyway, we want some younger ones, the newly joined ones.
Sir, I am also having exams
Okay,
on
Naveen.
onwards.
No, whoever has exam, that's okay.
Sir, Anvit can do because he's gone out just now, some appointment for him. He
Okay,
went,
okay. So Anvit, you jot down one Anvit,
yeah,
Moksh,
he went just now.
Nikita. So these 3 are there. And maybe exams, that's why not many. So maybe the 2 verses you can only prepare, Swastik.
Yes, sir. These two I'll prepare by
Prepare
myself.
nicely and explain them, whoever is coming.
Yes, sir.
And allot them and send in the group now, okay?
Naga, sir.
Make some stories, nice stories, okay?
Yes, sir.
And whatever I get, I will forward to you. They will
Naga,
share
sir.
to me, I'll forward it to you.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
That'll work.
Yeah, all the best children who have exams. Nice to see you. And thank you very much, Sarika madam. With busy schedule, you have done brilliantly. Looking forward for the next class, and it is a revision for all of us. Ninth chapter. So wonderful chapter. Does anyone know the name of 9th chapter?
Raja Vidya,
Sir, Akshara Brahma Yoga.
No,
So
ninth, ninth.
Ninth, Rajvidya
Raja Vidya,
Rajaguhya.
Rajapuja Yoga.
Okay, so it's a chapter where secret
Very
things are.
important chapter.
Yeah.
The
So,
secret of the kings.
It
yes,
covers most topics.
yes,
Like this
king's
also,
secret.
it's very diverse.
Very, very bhakti, full of bhakti. Okay. Bring some bhakti stories. Okay. Okay, then see you if everything is done. Thank you, everyone. See you the next class. Hari Om.
Hari Om, everyone. See you in the next class.
Yes,
Hari Om,
Hari
sir.
Om, Hari
Bye,
Om.
sir.